Thank you, Mr. President. Did you have any doubt that this would happen, that you would be sworn in?
I never doubted it one day.
And how do you feel about that? Because I was outside the MC yesterday seeing lots of Gambians cheering and shouting and showing obvious signs of joy, but still a lot of trepidation, because of course your predecessor is still refusing to go.
I was very happy yesterday and I was relieved. Because it's like all the corrections focus on swearing and immigration. It has been the focus of everybody. My team, the common Gambian, the media, and it happened yesterday. We didn't want it that way, but it was destined to happen that way. And I believe with the support, the international support, this thing will be resolved sooner than later.
Did you feel a sense of history? How important is this for Africa? Because this is the first apparent democratic, not necessarily handover, but certainly so far we've seen the election of a democratic leader.
It is a really history for the Gambia, for Africa. For Gambia, we have been waiting for 51 years for the people to change government by the ballot box. That indicates that power belongs to the people. It's a very important history for the Gambia.
And Africa, the fact that all your African neighbours supported you couldn't have been done without them. And that is significant for Africa.
Very significant. I think democracy is growing in Africa. And that is positive. So we believe it is changing. It is changing positive. And that is good for this continent.
There is another inauguration taking place a long way away in America. What would your message be to the new man taking over the White House, and how important Gambia or even Africa should be to him?
America is a very important nation in the world. And a new president, a surprise package is coming as I am a surprise package too. I think let's take everything on the positive. So make sure America remain positive towards the world, have a positive approach as a superpower, continue to help the world, to save the world in the best direction they could.
What would you hope his approach to Africa and Gambia is going to be? Because he has made not very encouraging words about aid and even trade with African nations.
The thing is, Africa is a partner to the whole world. Africa has a lot of raw materials. And I think that this has been a good partnership between Africa and the rest of the world. Donald Trump, as a president, it's very important for him to take the lead to consolidate that partnership. It's very important for America and it's important for Africa. We move the world in always a positive direction. It makes a difference for everybody. I think that is fundamental.
You've got lots of links with Britain. You studied there, you worked there, you still support a British football team. What would you say to the new British Prime Minister and their approach to Britain, particularly, you know, as a tourist destination, many of whom will have been very frightened by what's been going on in Gambia the last few days?
Britain and Gambia, there is a strong tie between Britain and Gambia. If you recall history, they colonized Gambia, and we were part of the Commonwealth, and we will rejoin the Commonwealth again. So I think in any aspect what is going on in the Gambia, Britain should be our #1 partner in terms of trade, terms of democracy, in terms of good governance. They should be our partners. And I think my question to the Prime Minister is let him open the door for that relationship to continue. We strengthen it to the high heights. I think that is very important. It's important for us, it's important for England.
Britain is at the minute renegotiating or looking at its relationship with the whole of Europe and trying to find how to work a way through the whole Brexit deal. Do you see that as a positive or a negative for Gambia and your people?
I think it's positive because nations have to work in partnership. That partnership is good for both countries because in every aspect of government is a link, and if that link is there, I think we can benefit from each other. That is friendship, bilateral relationship. It can always open the door for both countries to benefit from each other, and that is fundamental.
Right now, though, your predecessor is still in Gambia, still, as far as we know, in the State House. What are your worries about resolving this? You must have lots about resolving it peacefully.
There's a lot of negotiation going on, a lot of diplomacy, but we believe it will resolve very, very soon because Yajam have been isolated completely. They have been isolated locally, isolated internationally. So that puts him in the position that he have to make a decision to relinquish power by all means. And that is going to happen.
And if he doesn't?
It's going to happen. Believe so, 100%.
Are you prepared to grant him amnesty, as he's demanding?
Well, this is a situation that you cannot make a premature decision. If you get to the office, you look at everything before coming up with a decision.
So not ruling it out?
We don't want to make any premature decision. We have to make sure we look at everything and come up with a comprehensive decision. That's
one thing that was clear from talking to Gambian people, who many of whom are welcoming your appointment, is that they see you as starting everything afresh. Your promises about restoring human rights, restoring press freedom, rejoining the International Criminal Court. There's lots of calls now today for you to come through with those promises. How determined are you to
the moment we get to office, we start from there.
What's your first priority?
First priority, get my cabinet in place, get my technicians in place, because I've opened an expert bank so that we got all our knowledgeable people in every aspect to get us a blueprint that will dictate everybody. But human rights and reform, prison reforms, those are top in our agenda. We have to get a prison whereby people will be reformed, not to be punished. We reform them so that they can go back to the society and contribute positively. This is what we want, and we are looking at world standard prisons. That will be first on my table.
Like Donald Trump, you have no experience of holding public office. How do you view that? I mean, you must be stepping into that position with a little bit of trepidation.
It's a new job, but we have to face the reality, and we have to be good listeners. It's always a learning process. We will learn and move on. But the most fundamental thing here is, if you are new into any job, you have to be a good listener. And I believe in that. And I will listen to make sure we come up with the best decision at all times.
Tell me, there's lots of rumours about you working in London as an Argos security guard during your university days. Do you remember that time? Is it something that you remember with fondness? Was it a learning experience for you then?
I will always remember that. It was another experience. In a foreign land, have a lot that you learn from. And I think I have learned a lot in England. They have put in a lot of discipline in me and a lot of hard work that have helped me a lot when I came to the Gambia. Changed my attitude towards work, and it kept me strong. And I have an idea of how the West is run. I think it was positive. I cannot forget that. It's an experience.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
You're most
Looking
welcome.
forward to seeing you in Banjul.
Thank you. Thank you.
Were you disappointed about the inauguration ceremony? Because obviously the one that was planned was very different to the one that happened.